Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Grand Rising.
I come to you this day with gratitude for my co-host, Nurse Stacy. I have a smile on my face, as you can see, because I truly appreciate her. She comes from a space of love, concern, and knowledge. I have a health team, and I honestly am grateful for the nurses that share their experiences. Those that have worked behind the healthcare scene, behind the scenes, and know a little bit more about the healthcare system are valuable, like Nurse Stacy. Um, she's going to talk to us today about forgetfulness or something more. Hmm. How to protect your memory naturally. At this point, I would love to turn it over to Nurse Stacy.
Grand Rising, everyone. And thank you guys for being here. I'm going to first off go on and see if I can share my screen with you all. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Amazing. One second. Let me hide these floating controls so I can get going. So today we're talking about something that concerns almost everyone or every family at some point, and that's our brain health. So many people wonder, am I just getting older, or is it something I should be concerned about? Maybe you've forgotten names or misplaced your keys or walked out of a room and forgotten why you went there.
Mm.
We've all done that, okay? So today we'll discuss what's normal, what may not be normal, and most importantly, what we can do to protect our brains naturally. So the next screen, I had to wait till sometimes it takes a second to kick up. To go to the next screen. Maybe. I don't know why it does that, but it does. Just have a little patience here. I'm going to minimize it and bring it back up and see if it will act right as I move forward. There we go. See, it's fickle. Want to do what he want to do. So the opening question is, have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why?
Yes.
Have you ever forgotten someone's name?
Yes.
Perhaps misplace your keys? Like I said, is that normal, aging, or is that something more? Well, the good news is that occasional forgetfulness does not automatically mean dementia. And to me, that's good news because
That is.
I forget all the time. Our brains process an incredible amount of information every day. Do you ever feel like your brain is in overload? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just think about the things that we do and the notifications and the things that come and the phones are ringing and people that's calling your name in the household and just all these different things that's going on at one time, not to mention all the stuff that's already saved in our brains that's been there all of our lives. So it processes an incredible amount of information every day. And sometimes, like I said, we are distracted, stressed, tired, or overloaded.
Mm.
Are you alone? I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'll put my hand up. Today, we'll learn the difference between normal memory changes and the signs that deserve further evaluation. Okay. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to understand normal aging versus concerning memory changes. Recognize risk factors that increase the likelihood of cognitive decline. Also learn some practical strategies that support brain health. And almost importantly, lead with action steps that can begin immediately. Okay. Your brain is amazing. How many of y'all think y'all got an amazing brain?
There you go. Yeah.
I do. Many people think the brain stops developing after childhood, but that's not true. Actually, the brain remains adaptable throughout our whole lives. We are always able to continuously adapt. Approximately 86 billion neurons are gone every day, and we use about 20% of our body's energy. We form new connections throughout our life. We're always forming new connections, and we can continue learning at any age. Yes, the brain is capable of change and adaptation. So science called this neuroplasticity. How many have heard of neuroplasticity?
I have.
All right. It means that the brain can create new connections and it strengthens existing connections. Now, when I heard that it creates new connections and strengthen the ones that we already have, that's amazing. So our brain is definitely amazing. And every time you learn a new skill, which is very important, just continue to remember that. Every time you learn a new skill, every time you read a book, solve a problem, exercise, or engage in meaningful communication or conversations like we're doing right now, you're helping your brain build stronger pathways. And that's good to know. The message here is simple. No matter what your age, your brain still has the ability to change. Normal age versus warning signs. So here we have what is normal. Okay. Occasionally forgetting names. I know that's normal for me. Well, we had I went to a funeral this past weekend of a classmate of mine. And a lot of times when I go to places like that, I see people that I know their faces and I'll be looking at them all weird, like, dang, what's their name? Can't remember their name. And I'll be like, And then they'll come up and be talking to me and I'll be like, I remember them.
Oh, right.
Like, sometimes I'll just come out with it. I forgot your name. What's your name? And then they'll tell me what their name is. So, I don't want to feel like I'm too embarrassed. Like, I don't want them to look at me because people notice when you look in some kind of way at them, whether you remember who they are or not. But as we age, it may take longer to remember information, for sure. And you might occasionally forget a name, but remember it later. Now, I've done that because I'll tell myself, what's their name? And then I'll be pondering on it all day long. And I'd be like, you know what? I got to remember their name. And I'll be thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, that's okay. That's their name. I finally was able to put the name with the face. So that's generally considered normal. What becomes concerning is when your memory problems begin affecting daily life, like the things that you normally do every day. Getting lost while you're driving to familiar routes. That happened to my husband a couple of times. He driving from taking my grandson to get his hair done. And on the way back, he ended up so far west, he didn't even know how he was going to get home. And then on another occasion, he just went 5 minutes away. And he ended up going further south than he was supposed to. He was supposed to go a little south and then head east, and we would have been on his pathway back home. Forgetting familiar routes that you drive in. How about missing bill payments frequently? That could be very concerning because I remember my mom, she was forgetting a lot. And this is when we noticed something really where we had to take over. She started forgetting what bill she had to pay. And on top of that, she was paying some bills 2 and 3 times over than what she needed to. And so that really became really concerning. And making those payments repeatedly, not remembering that she had already made the payment. And asking the same question over and over. Like you may ask somebody a question, and then like within a minute, you ask the same question. And then maybe 5 minutes later, you ask the same question, asking the same question over and over. Those are some signs that could be affecting your life daily. Or becoming confused about time and place. And that's one of the things that the doctors will do to people when they come in for an exam, like a cognitive assessment or something like that. They will ask you, what's the date? And when I was working on the floor as a nurse and somebody would hit their head, we had to do a mini assessment to determine on whether or not, that hitting their head was something that may have had some immediate effects on them. So we would always ask them the day, the time, and where they were at to make sure that, they knew it. It's called being A&O times 3, alert and observative times 3. And so that was one of the ways that we had to do it. And we had to repeat that like every hour to make sure it stayed the same because of an immediate brain injury. But this type of the type of aging or warning signs that I'm talking about right now is something that has nothing to do with a closed head injury, but something that's happening on the inside of us. So these are situations that should be discussed with a healthcare provider. So that's right. So what increases dementia risk? Okay, high blood pressure. Many people don't know this. Diabetes, smoking, obesity, lack of exercise, poor sleep. How about being socially isolated? Staying in the house all the time, never going nowhere, nor never doing anything. That can really affect someone, not being out in the environment and stuff like that. And this one, hearing loss, I didn't know that to just recently, that hearing loss has a lot of increasing your risk for dementia. So many people think that dementia is entirely genetic, but that's not true. It's not entirely genetic. Genetics may play a role, but research shows lifestyle factors matter. How much does it matter? Tremendously, a whole lot. Conditions, like I said, the high blood pressure and all of those ones that you see on the screen right now, the inactivity of your brain can damage blood vessels that nourish your brain. Let me say that again. Inactivity can damage blood vessels that nourish the brain. That's something to think about. So you think about your brain like being a garden, okay? If blood flows decreases, the garden doesn't thrive. You don't water it, it doesn't thrive. Protecting your heart helps protect your brain. And that's a big to-do. So I'm gonna start talking about some habits, 10 brain protective habits that we can take a look at. Habit number 1. Exercise is one of the most powerful things we can do for brain health. Moving that body. When we move, we increase blood flow and we increase oxygen. We increase the oxygen delivery to the brain. So exercise also stimulates the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, often called the fertilizer of the brain. I never knew it was a fertilizer of the brain. So we got brain fertilizer, y'all. We got brain fertilizer. So the BDNF helps brain cells grow, and it also helps brain cells communicate. So the goal here is not perfection. So even walking like 20 to 30 minutes a day can make a meaningful difference. So things like walking, swimming, Pilates, dancing, Whatever it is that you like to do, just get up and move that body, move that body, move that body. Oh man, I went to the pool yesterday, but before I got in the pool, I did some strength training, muscle building exercises. Ooh, and when I finished that, I wanted my husband and my granddaughter to go into the pool area with me, but they would not. But you know what? I couldn't wait to get in that water. I got in the cold water and I went it's a pool that pushes your body around all the way around. And then after I got out of there, I jumped in that hot tub, the jets, to soothe those muscles. Oh my God, you're talking about something that felt so good. But then, you guys know about that fight or flight thing, right? So
Yes.
remember when we were talking about it that one time, that if you dunk yourself in a cold bath of ice, it'll send your body into a reaction that is supposed to be really good for you, even though people be like, I ain't doing that. I'm not getting no cold ice water. But even taking a cold shower can stimulate you and make you feel really, really good. So after I got out of the hot tub, I jumped myself back in that water. Now the water they have 3 different temperature water. One of them is really, really cold. That's the one that the swimmers go into, go back and forth. And then the wave pool that goes around and around, that temperature is a lot warmer than that one. And then the hot tub. So I got in the middle one, the one that I started out in going in the wave pool.
Right.
It felt like it was really cold after getting out of the hot one. But when I'm telling you, it felt so good.
Yeah.
That water, after getting out of the hot water, getting in that cool water, it was something that it did to my body and my mind. I felt like I was so strengthened, and it really felt so good. I wanted to do it all over again, but I would not permit. Okay, so habit number 2, eat for brain health. I've heard this over and over and over again. A lot of what we're talking about today, it's not even something that we haven't heard before, but in the context of brain health, it's sounding redundant, but it's the same thing over and over again. Food provides raw materials your brain uses every day. That's what food does.
Yes.
Research consistently shows benefits from food rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And within the last week, I've been upping my game on the omega-3 fatty acids. It provides that, and it also provides antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. We need all of that, all of that. So just think about colorful foods. Yesterday, I saw a video. It was on YouTube, but it came in my feed somewhere, and I clicked on it and went to YouTube, and how they were talking about the colors, the purple foods, and how beneficial they are for our bodies, and how we should look at foods that are very, very colorful and eat those foods. Blueberries. I love blueberries. Yesterday, I had some in my oatmeal. It was so good. Leafy greens. A few days ago, I made a kale salad with some red peppers and put some olive oil in there and some lemon juice. And when I tell you the flavor was so good, it was so good. How about salmon? Vegetables provide nutrients that support healthy brain function. So you see walnuts there, sardines. I think sardines is one of Sister Dietrich's favorites.
That's it.
And so, yeah, it's really good. I tried sardines one time. And the thing about it, they're good. They taste pretty good, but it's something up here in my head be like, I used to call it a long time ago, which I'm not going to say what I used to call it.
I can imagine.
And it actually tastes good, especially the one in mustard and stuff like that. But what harms the brain is highly processed foods, and we know that.
Yeah.
If we process foods, that's going to harm our brain. Excessive sugar. And diets that promote inflammation. The last thing we want to do is promote inflammation in our bodies, because inflammation is the start of just about every disease out there. you reduce your inflammation, you're headed down the right path. So habit number 3 is protect your blood sugar. Now, you guys all know that I use a continuous glucose monitor, and I love it. I can't imagine not having it. If my insurance never pay for it again, and I have to pay for it, I don't know, I might have to think twice. But I love always looking at my continuous glucose monitor after I've eaten something. I love to see where my glucose goes 2 hours after I eat. And what I found a lot was prioritizing protein plays a big role in how your blood sugar rises and fall. Like if I eat, like I ate some chicken yesterday, and when I put in my meal, because you can chart whatever it is that you're doing in the app itself. So I put in there chicken. And so my glucose was around 89 when I did that. And 2 hours later, it was around 88. So it stayed steady all along. But when later on, because I made some chicken salad, and it had grapes and what is it? Nuts. It wasn't walnuts. That other kind of nut, that brown nut. Can't think of that nut. But anyway, it had nuts in it. It had dill in it, avocado mayo, and I put it on top of a piece of sourdough bread. And that sourdough bread made a big difference in what my numbers did. Even though I had some chicken mixed with it, it made a difference because I could see that my body was recognizing every bit of what I put in it. So you got chicken, you got you got the fruit, and you got the nuts and the dill. And believe me, it was really, really good. But it still came back down to normal within 2 hours. So it wasn't all bad, but I'm just saying you can see how it affects you. Did you want to say something, Deidre? Did you go away? Anyway, I could see how it affected my blood sugar. And so we just want to be really aware of what it is that we put in our mouth because it can cause inflammation. Okay, so the tips is increase fiber, prioritize your protein, and reduce sugary beverages. I would say eliminate sugary beverages if at all possible. If you can get away from not having sugary beverages, that would be a plus. And these are some things that you can work up on. I have a friend who said she had a lot of pop. She buys pop on a regular basis and she drinks a lot of pop that has a lot of sugar in it. And so just increasing that over time, instead of drinking 3 a day, you can put it down to 2 and then work your way down to 1. And eventually, before you know it, you just may be at a point where you don't have to have it at all. It won't be a big problem. So some researchers have even referred to Alzheimer's disease as, can anybody guess what they referred to Alzheimer's disease as? I'll wait. Somebody gonna say something.
I don't know, the old people's disease or?
Researchers have referred to Alzheimer's disease as what?
Diabetes 3.
There you go. Yes.
What?
Diabetes type 3.
Yeah.
Didn't hear that one. Wow.
And it's because of the strong connection between blood sugar regulation and brain health. It's a strong correlation or connection. When blood sugar remains elevated over time, it affects every organ in your body. So just imagine someone who has diabetes type 2. When they get that diagnosis, the first thing the doctor wants to do is what? Put them on high blood pressure medication, put them on glucose level medications, and sometimes so extreme as insulin. And they want to put them on cholesterol lowering medication. All of these things they want to put you on when they say you have this diagnosis, because they know with that diagnosis that it's going to affect every organ in your body, including the brain. So when sugar levels remain elevated over time, blood vessels and nerves can become damaged. And we have blood vessels and nerves everywhere. So that includes the blood vessels supplying your brain, right? So practical strategies include eating adequate protein, like I said before, increasing the fiber, limiting sugar drinks, and maintaining a healthy weight. Okay. Habit number 4, control your blood pressure. Ooh, one of the strongest risk factors in cognitive decline is uncontrolled high blood pressure. Uncontrolled. That means that you have it and you're not controlling it. You're not taking no medication. You're not exercising. You're not eating for it. It's just not under control. And over time, elevated blood pressure can damage tiny blood vessels inside the brain. Yeah. So we have to keep our blood pressures controlled. And many people don't realize that they have high blood pressure because often you don't have any symptoms at all. I've known people who figured out late in the game that they had high blood pressure because they just didn't know. They didn't have any symptoms. And that's why regular monitoring is so important. So you got to get you one of those monitors you can put on your wrist and monitor your blood pressure, or you can put it around your arm. But, if we have blood pressure, even if we're on a medication, even if we're exercising, it's good to check it at least once a week. And if you have any concerns with it high, check it every day, because we have targets that we should be reaching for. And those targets in your blood pressure are generally below 120/80 when it's appropriate. Sometimes when it's appropriate means that sometimes our blood pressures can be high because of stress. Sometimes it could be high because of pain. I know sometimes when my blood pressure, when I'm having pain in my body and I check my blood pressure, or when I'm stressed out, yeah, that top number, the bottom number stays low, but that top number can shoot through the roof. So you want to try to prevent having a stroke as well. So
Mom, Evelyn's hand is up.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to remind you and Deidre that I had asked for you guys to do a show on showing me how to use my continuous glucose monitor so that I can know what's going on, and also my blood pressure cuff.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. If we have time on this show, we could do it on this show, because it doesn't take long to show you how to do that. Did you happen to get the continuous glucose monitor?
Yeah, sweetie, I got I have them. I got 6 of them.
Do you have one
Whoa.
currently?
Huh?
Do you have one on currently?
No, because I want to know how to use it correctly.
Oh, okay. Do you have instructions on how to insert it?
No, I guess they're in the package.
So the first thing you want to do with that is you want to get the app that's associated with it. Did you put the app on your phone?
Not yet, because I need to clean up my phone a little bit.
Okay, so step number 1, put the app on your phone.
Okay.
And once you get the app on your phone, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 after that. It'll tell you exactly what to do.
Okay.
You're going to clean the area where you're going to put it. You're going to use your camera on your phone to there's going to be a little thing on your glucose monitor that will show them which glucose monitor you're inserting it. And you put your camera on that so it knows that you're putting that one in. And once you do that, you pop it into your stomach or in the back of your arm. And then after you put it in the back of your arm, then it'll take some time to warm up. And after it warms up, voila, you will be able to see your blood glucose level right away. And then you'll be able to use the app to put in the foods that you've eaten and a lot of other things. So the instructions should be right there on there. So we'll talk about the blood pressure at another time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So habit number 5, sleep. We always talk about this in some context or another. Prioritize sleep. Sleep is not wasted time. I've heard people say, I'll sleep when I'm dead or whatever,
Right.
You're going to do
Morbid.
You is going to sleep for real. So during sleep, the brain performs essential maintenance.
True.
Yeah, research suggests that brain clears away waste products and it consolidates memories while we sleep. If you are consistently sleeping poorly, your memory, your concentration, and your mood suffer. So you'd ask yourself, am I getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep nightly? At least 7 to 9. I'm still somewhere between 6.5 and 7. I'm stretching, I'm trying to get that 7 in, but it's really, really hard for me to get that 7 in. If I get 9 hours of sleep, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I just would not know what to do. So you can ask yourself some questions when you go to sleep and you sleep. And that's why for me, I don't think it's much of a problem, because when I wake up, I do feel rested. I'm not feeling tired and want to go back to sleep. So I do. Do you snore excessively or stop breathing while you sleep? That's something that, some people suffer with, and I know you've heard of it. It's called sleep apnea, when you miss breaths while you're sleeping. And when you miss breaths while you're sleeping, that means that your body or your brain or it's not getting enough oxygen. So you want to make sure that that's not something that's going on. So people who snore, they know if they snore, if they got anybody to live in the household with them. So, and sometimes they look at snoring as being just as bad as sleep apnea, because you're still locking some kind of oxygen from that sound in your neck. All of the oxygen, you're not getting all of the oxygen that you could be getting. So those may be some important clues, So during the sleep, the brain repairs itself, toxins are removed, and memories are consolidated. We got habit number 6 here. Challenge your mind. I remember my mom used to do this when she was early in her stages. Even before I'd even think she even recognized, or we even recognized that she had dementia. But she used to do hobbies. Like she used to have this game, this electronic game. She would play solitary in her hands. She would play those games frequently while she was doing something, and doing puzzles and stuff like that. Oh, I see your hand again, Evelyn. Go ahead.
What were you talking about before that? Oh, snoring.
Mhm.
Can that be eventually alleviated?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because my daughter has it really bad, really bad. And I was told I snore too. So I'm glad to know. Second thing, you're talking about challenging the mind. This is what I do, a little thing I do when I'm driving in the car. All the cars have license plates. And this is something I learned when I was young, and working in a party store, helping out. And she always added up numbers by writing them down on whatever bag she was about to put your stuff in. And she showed me that little technique. And so when I'm driving, I look at the license plates, I find the 10 and I add it up really quickly and see. And I mean, I can do it with cars passing by if I glance the numbers and add it up and I break it down to its least number. It's just something I do automatically just to kind of, just wanted to say that.
That's amazing. A lot of people are not good with numbers. I can actually add numbers in my head too. I can do division and multiplication, all that kind of stuff in my head. Like the kids nowadays, they're not taught to remember stuff. Like they'll give them cheat sheets. They'll tell you 6 times 7 is 42, right? Look at it and remember it. Okay, so now you know it's 42. Put it in your memory. Store it there. They just won't store it. They'll just keep using the cheat sheet. But it's a good way to do it. It's to store those memories. And we were taught that when I was in elementary school. And so that's why it's still there. And you can still retrieve it very easily. So reading, learning languages, I tried to learn Spanish and I didn't have the patience for it. I tried, but I couldn't do it. And I'm not trying anymore.
My grandson is interested in like Chinese, Japanese, and those languages. I'll be looking at him like he be talking to me in some of them. I'm looking at him like, don't even.
You don't know what they're saying. I'm like, what you say? Yeah. So music, Queen Aduni loves that music. That's a good thing to do consistently. Listening to music, playing music, singing songs, and even developing new hobbies. Because they say if you don't use it, what?
Yeah, lose it.
Mm-hmm. So the goal is learning. So just try these things because our brains thrive on challenges. Thrives on challenges. The goal is simply doing something every day. That's habit number 6. Number 7 is stay socially connected. And I think this is very, very important because the benefits of it is you reduce depression, And as human beings, we're wired for connection. That's just how we wire. We need to be around people. We need to have connection. Social isolation has been linked to increased risk of depression and cognitive decline. And I noticed that about my mom because when she was diagnosed with dementia, it was right around COVID. Go figure. Mm-hmm. And my brother, he was very, very fearful about her going out, him going out, because they were at high risk of, not surviving it. And so social isolation at that time was bad for everyone. Isolated, hunker down, they was telling you, hunker down, don't go nowhere, don't do that. And that's what got me doing Instacart right now. I'm always doing Instacart. I'm like, I need to get out and go to the store myself instead of doing Instacart all the time. But conversations, being around people, conversations challenge your memory. And it also challenges your attention, your language skills, and emotional processing. That's what this is doing right now. So whether it's in a church or whether it's volunteering somewhere, family gatherings, or community groups like we have here, staying connected matters. It matters a whole lot. So stay socially connected. Habit number 8, reduce chronic stress. Make this a habit. Make this a habit. Yes, reduce chronic stress. Stress isn't just emotional. It affects the body physically. Now, we know stress can raise the blood pressure. Stress can have you anxiety. Stress can make you feel depressed. It can have you all kinds of ways. It's not just emotional. It can do a whole lot of, but chronic stress has a physiological effect behind it, and it raises your cortisol levels. And we don't want to have our cortisol levels raised because it's going to increase inflammation. And over time, elevated cortisol levels may negatively affect memory and learning. Imagine that. Being stressed all the time, cortisol levels high. Your memory and learning, your ability to learn something new, your ability to move forward and, deep dive into other things can be affected. And that's why practices like, prayer or meditation and deep breathing, gratitude, and spending time in nature can be powerful. It's a powerful tool for brain health. So let's practice.
I have a question for
Mhm.
everyone. Even if it wasn't for the money, but who of us could spend a significant amount of time by ourselves with ourselves for say at least a month without any connection to the outside world?
How
No
many of us could do that?
TV, no TV, no phone.
Not
I can tell
me.
you right now, I ain't doing it.
Not me.
It's not gonna happen unless I put like I'm in jail and I got four walls in me and the key is locked and I can't go nowhere. Ain't nobody coming to see me. I'm not doing it. Sorry.
That's why it's a punishment when they do that, when you are in prison and they put you in the hole in the dark and the uh-uh.
Yeah.
No, it's a punishment.
All
No.
you have is you and your mind.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but I
And
could
then
do it.
you will
A
lose
month.
your mind.
Yeah, I might
I
could do
could
it
do
for a
it.
week.
You
I
could.
could do it. As long as if I have my artwork, okay, I could have my artwork. If I could have my artwork and I could do it, guys. I could. I could.
No, you said alone.
Well, yeah. But if
No artwork.
huh?
No artwork, no nothing.
Oh no, we no. Well, because I would think of it as my deeper journey with connecting with spirit.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
better go deeper and connect with spirit if we all alone because God was not alone. That's why he made us. It's not good that man be alone. It's not good. Girl.
Well, I think
I
they
ain't
have
doing it.
some kind of thing out there where they will if you take that challenge, you win like $1 million or something. Evelyn, you need to look that up and take them on. I think it's a like an island or something. So even if you didn't have all your stuff, I'm sure you'll make something out of the tree leaves and
Yeah, go ahead and do that and let me do your assessment after you get done
exactly right.
and see what that money gonna do for you. I wouldn't take the money. I wouldn't.
No, I'm listening to it right now. I'm about to go.
There's no way no way. I couldn't do it. But kudos to you if you can do it.
So funny.
Oh,
So you had to be in prison.
we going to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to jail. Ooh, okay. On to habit number 9. Protect your hearing. Like I said earlier, I didn't know that hearing loss was associated with increased risk for dementia. Didn't know that anyway. So many people are surprised to learn this, that it's connected. And it's one of the largest modifiable risk factors for dementia. That means that you can do something about it. Get you some hearing aids. When your hearing is decreased, the brain works harder just to understand conversations. Trust me when I say I know that. My husband got hit in the ear when he was a young child and it busted his eardrums. And when he was young, when he was in kindergarten, first grade, and so on and so forth, the teachers thought he was ignoring them. They would talk to him with his back turned. He didn't hear them. He got in trouble. It just caused him so many problems. And he didn't know that his eardrum was busted. And when they finally realized, when his mom finally realized that he had a hearing problem, she was calling his name and his back was turned and she realized that he couldn't hear. She took him to the doctor and they found a blood clot in his ear and removed it. But from that day to this day, my husband has had a hearing problem. And when I tell you I'm talking to him and he don't hear me, it's frustrating to talk to someone and they don't hear you. It's very frustrating. And then it's really frustrating to the point if you have hearing aids in your ear and they're not working properly, imagine what the person who can't hear is going through. Especially when I say, hey, Basil, did you hear me? It's like, no, what did you say? He said, and sometimes he'll say, I heard you, but I didn't understand what you were saying. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard communication-wise for him to be able to communicate with people effectively. And that was even so more so when he was in the hospital the doctors really thought something was wrong with him, with his mind or something, because they would say something. When they would say things to him, he would answer the question totally different from the question that they asked. It's like, if I asked you about your shoe, why are you talking about your hat? That kind of thing, because he just didn't understand what he was saying.
Mm.
So that when hearing decreases, the brain works harder just to understand the conversations, and that can reduce cognitive reserve over time. Just imagine that. Don't ignore hearing changes. Get evaluated, and the use of hearing aids is definitely going to be recommended. And then avoid excessive noises, because that could be really detrimental to someone who has hearing loss. You have these excessive noises going on, and it's not good. Okay, the last habit, number 10, know your number.
Stacy?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, just musicians that have the music bamming in their ears all the time. There's definitely potential for, some loss of hearing, something, affecting you. Yeah.
Yeah, and imagine that trickling down, a domino effect from that. That could be pretty bad. So we talked about this on one show, knowing your numbers. Monitor. Evelyn's going to be monitoring her blood sugar pretty soon here, and that's going to be a game changer for her. Monitor your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your cholesterol. Jump on that scale. For you guys who's scared of the scale and don't want to know how much you weigh, get on the scale. See how much you weigh. Measure your waist circumference. See if you have visceral fat. See if you have too much fat going on. Because prevention begins with what? Awareness. We want to definitely be aware. These numbers can give us clues about what's happening inside our body before the symptoms occur. Because like I said, some people may not even know they have blood pressure, but if you monitor it and you see that it's high, that's a clue. If you monitor your blood sugar and you see that it's high, it's a clue. If you jump on that scale, you're supposed to be 135 and you 250, that is a clue. If your BMI is high, if your waist circumference is supposed to be 25 to 28 and it's 43, that is a clue. You definitely want to be aware of that. Think of it in this way. Prevention is much easier than treatment. The earlier we identify risk factors, the more opportunity we have to make positive changes. Evelyn?
Just real quick, because I have an electrician coming, but the scales from my doctor's office and the scale from my nutritionist / surgeon who's going to do the hernia operation is different.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-pound difference.
Yeah.
And how do you get a really good scale? How do you?
I think you just weigh yourself on your scale at home. Don't so much worry about their scales.
Okay.
What you do consistently will show you where you're at. So weigh yourself at home and weigh yourself once a week and see where you are. Because knowing your numbers is very important, because our bodies hold on to water. You can go to the doctor's office after drinking a 16-ounce bottle of water and put on a pound of shoes and your clothes weighing more and stuff like that. Or you could be holding on to water for the last 3 days, like 3 pounds, going from one place to another, from one day to another. You may see those fluctuations. Even if you're doing it on your own scale, you will see fluctuations from time to time, because our bodies hold on to water, our bodies release water, and it just depends on how much are we drinking and how much are we eliminating after we drink. So, yeah. Let's go on to the next slide. Got about 10 minutes left here. Nutrition spotlight, omega-3s. These are some good sources: salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout. These omega-3s are very, very important to have on because they're nutrients. So let's talk about one nutrient that gets a lot of attention: That it is. Omega-3. A lot of attention because it's a fatty acid, and omega-3s are important building blocks for brain cells. Yes, it is. They help maintain healthy cell membranes and may help reduce inflammation. So those are the foods right there. Supports the brain membranes and reduce inflammation. Brain health and the gut. I know y'all heard about the gut-brain connection. The gut-brain connection is very important. So many people are surprised to learn that the gut and brain are constantly communicating. And researchers often refer to this as the gut-brain axis. The bacteria living in your digestive system influences your mood. It influences your immune function, inflammation, and brain health. Go ahead, Deidre.
Oh yeah, just on this topic, the gut is our first brain. It's been said, so it's a connection there for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it affects everything. Because what you eat, what you put in your gut, it does affect it. So a healthy gut starts with what we feed it. Okay. The helpful foods are fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, fermented foods such as yogurt and kefir. And a healthy gut may support a healthier brain, for sure. So the amount of these foods is very important because I noticed when I started with this GLP-1, I was high protein, but I would get constipated because I didn't have enough fiber in my diet. So there are certain foods that provide fiber, but we don't have to eat a lot of it. Sometimes we overeat fruits and vegetables to the point where you might get too much. And you know what could happen if you get too much fiber. You're going to be not constipated anymore, but you might be on the other end where you may get diarrhea. So you just want to watch it. Everybody has to try it out for themselves to see where their balance is, how it's helping you. So hydration, the importance of hydration, even mild dehydration can affect your attention, your memory, and your concentration. And sometimes we don't think about it. Something as simple as that, it can affect fatigue, difficulty concentrating. Also, it can give you a headache. Have you ever heard of sometimes if you have a headache, people say drink water and see if it'll go away before you take the medicine? It could help.
Yes.
It does. It helps a lot. Poor memory performance. As we age, and this is important for us to remember, as we age, our sense of thirst may decrease. So we have to be more aware of how much we drink. So many older adults, we're just not drinking enough water, And a practical tip is everybody know, carry that water bottle with you wherever you go and sip on it throughout the day instead of waiting till you got thirsty or you really, really thirsty. You don't want to wait till you're thirsty because if you wait until you're thirsty, you know what? You're dehydrated already. There are some common myths out there. So myth number 1 is memory loss is a normal part of aging. The reality is memory loss. The reality is some slowing may occur, okay? That's the reality. But significant memory loss is not considered normal. So we'll bust that myth. The second myth is there's something you can do about dementia risk. No, I'm sorry. There's nothing, because some people will say, once you got dementia, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. But that's a myth. There is something that you can do about it. Research shows that lifestyle choices can influence your risk altogether to begin with. And then myth number 3, if a family member had dementia, it's inevitable that I will too. I am not claiming that. My grandmother had dementia. My grandmother's 2 sisters had dementia. My mom had dementia. No, I am looking at all of these habits and everything, and I am incorporating them because for me, it's not inevitable. To me, it's a choice in how I live my life. It's a lifestyle change. So that's not it. The reality is that genetic influences risk, but lifestyle factors matter how much? Tremendously. And that's what I hang on to. So the message today is empowerment, not fear. You know, we need to empower ourselves to make these changes. And then we got warning signs to discuss with the healthcare provider. If you're getting lost, or you notice personality changes, or somebody noticed that your personality has changed, if you're having difficulty following conversations that people are having, if you have frequent confusion, or you're repeatedly asking the same questions, these are some warning signs that you want to discuss with your provider, because early evaluation can help identify reversible causes and provide early access to treatment and support. So building your brain health plan. All right, we got a plan. Choose one of these things this week. Go out for a walk for at least 20 minutes. How about eating fish twice a day or twice a week? At least twice a week. Eat some salmon at least twice a week, or take something that has omega-3s in it. There are other alternatives to things that have omega-3s in it if you don't like fish. Improve your sleep habits. Learn something new. That's what I want to do. I want to learn something new. And most importantly, schedule your health screening. Definitely schedule your health screening. Okay. Faith and brain health. We talked about this on one of our shows. The body is a temple. Brain stewardship includes healthy choices, rest, nutrition, relationships, and spiritual growth. As a person of faith, I believe that our health is a part of our stewardship. In Corinthians 6:19, it reminds us that our bodies are temples. And taking care of your brain is part of honoring that gift. So what does that include? Nourishing your body, getting adequate rest, managing stress, building healthy relationships, and growing spiritually. Health is not simply physical. It's more than that. So anybody got any key takeaways they'd like to say in our last few minutes here? Any key takeaways? Anybody? Nobody?
I do want to say that you did an excellent job as usual.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
I would like to say the same, of course. But caring for someone with dementia right now,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that a lot of things that you shared. I'm sorry, I'm not on camera.
No
A,
problem.
lo- a lot of things that you shared were on key. They were really on point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, on everything actually, because I see a lot of that with my mother-in-law. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
You're welcome. So I want to thank you guys for spending this time with me today. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have, or I hope you leave encouraged and empowered, mostly empowered. So the goal here is not perfection. We're never looking for perfection here, but the goal is what? Progress. Let's see some progress. So every walk, every healthy meal, every good night's sleep, every meaningful conversation, and every effort to reduce stress is an investment in your brain health. Protecting your brain isn't something you start when problems appear. It's something you begin today. So thank you. And now, oh, go ahead. You got your hand up?
Yeah, just one last question. So this was really great, first of all. And yesterday I went to the doctor and was for my wellness check, which is great that they do that now with your Advantage plans. Long story short, I got my results back today. That was really quick. The one that concerned me was my creatinine level
Mm-hmm.
and my CO2. It was just like 1 point above where the normal range ends.
Mhm.
Kind of looked it up and and it talked about the filtration and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going back to when you talk about what you eat because your kidneys are so apparently important to filter things that you put into your body.
Yeah.
So it seems to me that based upon what you eat, you can either have your kidneys to work harder or not.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they don't have to work so much harder, then you're going to have longevity,
Mhm.
in that process. So I'm on a quest now to truly try to understand the metabolic panel. Uh, and you're a nurse, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I would love to have an offline discussion with you if that's any way possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that little tiny number over there, it may just be something that the machine that took the test may just be off a little bit because they use
That's where I'm standing.
yeah. I wouldn't worry about that little tiny off from that. Creatinine levels, creatinine levels is for the kidneys, and that is something that you want to be aware of. As long as it's not way off and low and heading in the opposite direction, there's things that you can do about it. And like I said earlier, blood pressure is one of the things. Monitor your blood pressure. You keep your blood pressure in check, that's going to help protect those kidneys. Yeah, the food,
Okay.
blood pressure, and the glucose levels is very important in protecting those kidneys.
Okay. I appreciate that, Sister Deidre. If you could or send me Stacy's number, I would love to share with her some information.
Okay,
And I
I'll
mean,
send it right away.
Okay,
okay,
Queen Aduni, I see your hand.
Hi.
thank you.
Um, I want to say this, that you never know whose life you affect. I say that because I had to take a call during your presentation, and I don't know which thing you said, but you said something, and the person I was talking to heard that.
Mm,
And she said, "Who is that? What is going on?"
mhm.
So I just want you to know that you affected somebody that has never even heard about the show.
Oh, wow.
And I was telling her, I said, well, the woman that's talking, she's a nurse and she's very good. She knows her stuff. And so I just wanted you to know that
Oh, thanks for
you
sharing that.
affected somebody that wasn't even in the room.
Good, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. That is amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Any other questions before we go? Okay, so we're gonna protect our brain health. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do all of these little things that we talked about on the show on how we can protect our brain health. So let's give ourselves a hug and kiss ourselves. Oh, gotta love on yourself. Love on yourself first before you love on anybody else. And then we're gonna start loving on everybody else by hugging the world, bring them in close, sprinkle that love all over them while they're close to you. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me on today. I'm really appreciative of it. And so we're going to end the call now. Have a great day.
Have a wonderful day, everyone. Okay.